The course I'm revising is Internet Fundamentals. It's based on a course that is being taught at Rowan Cabarrus Community College outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm an instructor at Rowan Cabarrus Community College. I've been there for 16 and a half years. My name is Scott Nason, and I look forward to you viewing my presentation and the feedback that I get from you. Thank you very much. The Internet Fundamentals course is based on an introductory course in the Computer Technology Integration Degree Program at Rowan Cabarrus Community College in North Carolina. The course it's based on is titled Internet Web Fundamentals. It is a required course of all students specializing in web technologies and mobile web technologies. The course is an elective course available to dual-enrolled high school students and all other students in the college. The course is offered in the fall and spring of each academic year. The Internet Fundamentals course introduces a brief history of the World Wide Web and the Internet. The course goes over using and configuring web browsers, searching for and evaluating information on the Internet, and evaluating websites. The course presents information about vulnerabilities while surfing online and how to protect oneself while surfing, using email services and other services of the Internet. Finally, the course goes over HTML5 and CSS3 and how to create web pages. The final project in the course requires the students to create a small website using the information they learned about creating web pages. Rowan Cabarrus Community College administration encouraged the faculty to convert face-to-face courses to online courses. I eagerly volunteered to teach an online section of RCC's Introduction to Computer course, which has about 25 sections a semester, and at that time only 2 were online. This prompted my interest in and commitment to teaching online. The first week of the course, we were given the option of submitting a game plan for course revisions to Dr. Hillstock for her review and comments, and I did that. I had primarily 3 goals. Find a new way to get students to feel a part of a community. The second one was to research and implement assessment strategies. Third, to investigate and implement at least one group activity. I think through all the projects that we did in the class, I was able to meet the first 2 goals. The third goal I still have to work on and come up with something that will be suitable for the course and be an activity that the students can work on in small groups together. So I began looking at what I needed to do to make revisions in my course. I focused on learning outcomes as I modified and created assignments. I wanted to add a variety of assessments in the assignments, and I ended up I'm going to be revamping all of the course assignments, so it's going to be a project throughout this semester and probably over the summer. The course as it is designed now has 8 assignments and a project, and what I am in the process of doing are modifying the 8 assignments by removing some material and then adding some new material. In doing so, I'm going to be adding 6 new assignments, and there will be a total of 14 assignments that will be due every week, and then a project at the end of the course. The first revision I made to my course was to create a PowerPoint presentation titled Introduce Yourself. In that presentation, the students were taken step by step through the process of creating an introductory video, and then how to post that video on YouTube. Then the students were asked to complete a What's Your Learning Style assessment and also post those results on their introduction post in the Getting to Know You forum. And they were also to post the URL to the video they made. Along with the assessment, they were pointed to some information on additional resources that would help them in knowing how to best learn based on the results of their learning style assessment. They did not have to post those results in the initial Getting to Know You post. The student did have to respond to the post of 2 other classmates as part of the Getting to Know You post that they did in that forum at the beginning of the semester. The next project that I did for the class was to create a PowerPoint tour of the course, introducing the students to Blackboard and the different items that are in Blackboard that we use in our course. I used a text-to-speech software to try that out, and I also converted the PowerPoint to a video. This assignment 3 is a new assignment that I created. Actually, what I did is I took parts 1 and 2 from another assignment, added some information in there, had them look at the history of the World Wide Web and the Internet, and then I added part 3 where they look at a PowerPoint presentation that they viewed in part 1 that was somewhat dated, and after reviewing all the information in part 1 and 2, to come up with modifying or adding a combination of at least 10 slides so that the presentation would be updated to be more current based on the information that they learned in the material that they went over. These are the directions for part 3 of the assignment, blown up so that you can read them more easily. Next, I created 2 TED Ed activities, and in the first one I combined 3 videos that last semester I had the students watch, and then they created questions and summarized the information that was in the video. Those questions had to relate back to the material that were in the 3 videos. Then I used Movie Maker to combine the 3 videos and eliminate some of the duplicate material and come up with a single video. And I used and modified the questions that students had made in the fall semester class and used those in the TED Ed activity. Found this activity to be extremely time consuming, and this is probably the last one that I'm going to try to do that, where I combine the videos. Then the next TED Ed video, I took a video from YouTube that students in last semester's class watched, and then created questions on the material that was in there. And I took 10 of, well, chose 10 of those questions, modified them so that they really were a little bit more presentable, and used that in the TED Ed activity. And that is one I will be using in the class, and I think it's it was a very good learning experience to develop those two activities. This is a screenshot of the assignment 4 directions, which include in part 2 the directions for the TED Ed activity that I'll be using. The directions for the TED Ed activity on assignment 4 are blown up here for you to be able to read more easily. This is a screenshot of the opening page when you click on the URL to go to the TED Ed activity in assignment 4. Also in assignment 4, I created a new part where the students take the information they gathered in parts 1 and 2 and create a couple of paragraphs comparing and contrasting the internet and the World Wide Web. The next slide has a screenshot of those directions. These are the directions for the paragraphs the students are to compose comparing and contrasting the internet and the World Wide Web. I also point them to some information that will help them to write the paragraphs using principles that are put forth in this paper from UNC Chapel Hill. Next, I created a new assignment by taking some information from a previous assignment where the students were directed to some videos about possible threats that they would encounter when surfing online, and then also read a document about protecting themselves while they were surfing online. Then I added to that where they searched for 2 articles that would provide additional ways for protecting themselves while surfing online. Then from that information they would create some key points and a summary. Use that information that they created to create a podcast. To create that podcast, they would use SoundCloud and Podbean. The next slide shows a screenshot of the directions. This slide shows a screenshot of the learning objectives in the first 2 parts of assignment 6, the assignment where the students create a podcast using SoundCloud and Podbean. Here are the directions for the students to create the podcast for this assignment. The next thing I created as a result of being in the program was a table that is on each assignment. It is a table that the students copy and paste into the document that they submit for their homework, and they answer the couple questions, and then they have an opportunity to state what they learned by doing that assignment, and then any question that they have regarding that assignment. They submit that then on the homework for that assignment. The next slide has a screenshot of that form. This is a screenshot of part of each assignment that I'm going to have in the future, of a table that I developed where they can give me some feedback about the assignment, directions, and also have space where they can note the important thing that they learned while doing the assignment, and then if they have any questions that are still lingering in their mind after completing the assignment. The final 2 things that I have completed so far for my revision of the course are 2 rubrics, and the next 2 slides are screenshots of those rubrics. This is a screenshot of the rubric that I'll be using to evaluate the students' discussions that they'll post on different assignments relating to either a question that was asked or a topic that they were asked to comment on. And then also it evaluates the response that they have to the posts of 2 other students. This is a screenshot of the rubric that I developed for the comparing and contrasting paragraphs that the students would be doing in assignment 4, part 3. I've been teaching nearly 15 years online, and I've taken a number of online classes, and I've been consistently receiving very positive evaluations from my students in the online classes when they do the evaluations at the end of the class. So I thought I had a pretty good handle on teaching online, but I've gotten to a place where I've wanted to tweak my courses. So I did some investigation, found out about the Online Learning Consortium's online teaching certificate program, which I completed this past summer. Because of taking that program, I really found out that I had a great deal to learn and still have a great deal to learn to develop a quality online class. After attending the Online Learning Consortium's International Conference this past fall and talking to Dr. Hillstock while I was there and to several other individuals about the Advanced Online Teaching Certificate Program, I knew I wanted to take the advanced course as soon as I possibly could. I was very fortunate that I was able to sign up for the one that started in December. Through this course, I've been exposed to a number of new tools and ideas from the assigned material, from the research for the assignments, and from the feedback from Dr. Hillstock and from the fellow participants. The feedback that I've received in this course has helped me apply the things that I've learned to the development of the projects that were in the course and also in the modification and development of the assignments for the course that I'm revising. The key points that I learned during this course was the availability and value of online tools to guide in the development of my courses, the need to create assignment directions that help the learners master a task or a concept, the benefit of a learning community, and the need for strong written learning objectives. Even though I have not had a disabled student in any of my online classes, I've come to realize that I need to really focus on making the content accessible as I revise my courses. Then, while investigating things for this class, I found a website that was very helpful, teachertrainingvideos.com. They have videos, tutorials for a number of the tools that we've been exposed to or become aware of in the program. And these tutorials are specifically designed for teachers, and I found them to be very helpful. I learned how to use Baba Baluka to convert text to speech, how to use Movie Maker, how to use Audacity to create, edit, and convert audio files, how to use SoundCloud, and how to use Podbean. I found recordmp3online.com and learned how to use it and used it for the audio of this presentation. I learned how to convert a PowerPoint presentation into a video. I learned how to create a TED Ed lesson. I learned about a number of other tools which could be used in an online course, way too many to mention here. Where do I go from here? Well, primarily I've gotten so much information One of the very things that I need to be doing when I get the time is to review my notes and investigate the things that I've become aware of during the two online learning consortium certificate programs that I've been involved in. I've just gotten so much information, and also attending the international conference. There were workshops there that were extremely valuable. And the next thing I'm going to be doing is attending the Emerging Technology for Online Learning International Symposium in Dallas in April. I'm really looking forward to that, to keep in touch with what's being developed in the online learning area. And then the biggest thing is applying what I've learned in the programs, and also the ability to search for things now and then apply them. I think is going to be a much easier task after having to experiment with so many things in the two programs that I've been involved in with the Online Learning Consortium. So that's where I'm looking to improve my online classes. I want to thank everyone for your ideas and feedback, and especially Dr. Hillstock for your direction, your ideas, your feedback, and your encouragement. This has been a very rewarding experience because of all of you. Thank you very much.